Wellness Wednesday is brought to you by Adventist Health.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another Wellness Wednesday. Anthony Vasquez alongside Rafael Juarez with the Kern County Superintendent of Schools and Carmen Bravo, dietitian with Bravo Nutrition Counseling. Guys, welcome in.
Thank you.
It's August. School is back in session, and you're going to show us some sweet treats for some kids coming home from school.
Absolutely. So kids love sweet. Anthony and Carmen, thank you for being here with me.
Yes.
So we want to do simple recipes, right? Because we're all busy. Kids are back in school. They're coming home. They're hungry because kids, that's what they do. They eat, you know,
I get it
Play.
every 2 hours. Yep.
And they're hungry.
Exactly. So yeah, so this week, what we're going to do is, as you can see, a recipe that doesn't take very much. Your most exotic ingredient is your coconut milk.
Okay.
But it's just a simple arroz con leche. And so on medium to low heat, you're going to put your arroz, right? So the recipe calls for about 2 cups of rice, or
Okay.
depending on how much you're going to make, right?
Of
So you can
course.
size the recipe up and down. But this one is going to be about a cup of rice, and then we're going to do 2 parts of water. It's the same thing as if you were making regular rice. So you're going to put the water, and then what you're going to do is you're going to let it go. You're going to let it simmer and start having that rice soak up all that water. And then very early on, immediately after you put the water, you're going to put your raisins, right? So again, we want to keep it sweet, but we also want to keep it healthy. So we want to
course.
provide the sugar from natural sources like raisins. And so I'm going to add some raisins in here into my recipe. And again, I'm going to let that pot continue to simmer. Once the water is almost all soaking up, which is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes on medium-low heat for your rice, depending on how much you're making, then you're finally going to add, like I said, your most exotic ingredient, but at the same time, the one that adds a lot of nutrition to this meal, right?
Yes.
That gives it that extra substance that we need. And so my ingredient here is coconut milk. So we want to also, you know, try to incorporate recipes that don't always call for the animal products, right? We want to, you know, your preference is your preference, but this one is an alternative to regular milk or your leche condensada that you normally put
That's
in
a lot of sugar.
rice pudding, which is very high in fat and sugar, and nothing wrong with that. You know, we all go to birthday parties and we want that.
We all have a sweet tooth.
Yep. But this one is for during the week, right? During the week, kids are coming home, you want to give them something sweet to eat, or this could also be done for breakfast too, right? So we actually do this for our child care centers as a breakfast because it provides the grain that is required in our USDA meal pattern. That is, you know, something that we have to follow. It's the American guidelines, you know, the dietary guidelines for Americans that we use for USDA's child care and school lunch menus and breakfast menus, right? We do have a little sugar in here. You can use regular sugar, you can use brown sugar, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of brown sugar in this recipe. I think the one that we're going to have posted on the website has granulated sugar. Your choice. You can completely omit it and choose something else, maybe agave maybe
syrup.
honey. And then the secret to this recipe is the cinnamon, right? So you want to add a little bit of cinnamon. And then again, the coconut milk, the sugar, and the cinnamon is what you do as your last steps, right? When your rice is almost soaked up all your water. And so just because we are here on camera,
A little bit of magic.
do a little bit of magic, and voila, you know, 30 minutes later, that's roughly what it'll take. No prep at all, right? And you'll have
And you know,
your
I do want to mention it's not your traditional arroz con leche. However, it is a healthier version. I feel it's a healthier version just because you're using the brown rice, which has a lot of phosphorus. It has more nutrition, right? And then you're using the coconut milk, which has a lot of protein and a great alternative to animal, you know, milk. And then the cinnamon. The cinnamon is a great spice that has antioxidant. That is an antioxidant, and you know it is known to soothe the brain, calm, and lower the blood sugars too.
Yep.
So it is a spice that I use frequently, and then also too with the brown rice, it has a lot of those B vitamins that kids need as they're growing and developing. So this is a great recipe, a different twist to our traditional arroz con leche.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
quick, it's easy, and it looks healthy too. You're using a lot of real ingredients.
And
Yes.
get your kids involved. If you get them involved, it empowers them. And
Absolutely.
they're so much more likely to say, yes, I'll try it, right?
Yeah.
And this can be eaten, like I said, for breakfast, as a snack. It can be eaten warm, or it can be eaten, cold or room temperature if you want to wait.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's not processed. It's a healthier, it's not like, a packaged product. It's actually made at home and get the kids involved.
Very simple,
Yes.
straightforward ingredients.
Well,
Wow.
Carmen, Raphael, thank you so much for your time. And that's all for Wellness Wednesday today.